What's good, YouTube? It's your man BG Tech Life. And as you can see, I got the Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra on deck. Now today's video is something different. This video actually comes from a personal story of mine. So I want to make a video about why you shouldn't buy the Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra. And not really negatives about the phone, but just reasons that a person might not get the value out of this device that they would another device. And the story go like this. It's a little personal reason. My mother, she's a woman in her 60s, and she's not really a tech person, into tech at all. Now, a couple years ago, she decided that she wanted a new phone. She went to the store by herself to pick up a new device. So she ended up going into Verizon. She went Verizon now. She barely know how to download apps. She's one of those people that if you start explaining stuff to her, she gets a little frustrated. So only thing she's really doing on her phone is maybe scrolling Facebook, sending a text, trying to send a picture, and using the phone, calling people, things of that nature. So very, very light phone use. When she went to Verizon, she came out at the time with an S22 Ultra, the biggest Android flagship, the most expensive Android flagship that you could get at the time. And she's a person that barely knows how to work a phone. So, I just feel like Verizon, they worked her a little bit. So now I just want to share with y'all how to look at these things and how to decide whether you need a device like this, a top tier flagship, especially like a S25 Ultra. So let's get into it. Okay, so first and foremost, guys, the thing that separate the S25 Ultra from even the S25 and the S25 Plus is the S Pen. That's what makes this a niche device to me. And if you don't plan on utilizing the S Pen, I don't think that you should buy S25 Ultra. I'm gonna be honest with you. You can get phones just almost as big. You get phones just as powerful with a Snapdragon 8 Elite without the S Pen. And that'll save you some money because this phone is starting at $12.99. And all prices we're gonna talk about are MSRP. I can't talk about savings and discounts. We're just going to talk about the prices of these devices. S25 plus $1,000. OnePlus 13 $1,000. $200 cheaper just based off probably just the S Pen alone and some little camera differences. But if you're not going to utilize the S Pen in this device, there's no need for you to pick up a S25 Ultra. Now, most flagship phones are known as flagships because of their processors. Like most flagships in 2025, gonna have the Snapdragon 8 Elite processor, which is a really powerful processor, especially if you do things like video editing or gaming on your device. Now, if you're a person that just leisurely uses a smartphone, you don't need that type of processor in your device. They have a lot of nice budget devices with processors that will easily get you through the day if you just use your device for leisure, like social media, snapping a picture here and there, sending text messages, communicating with the fam, stuff like that. If you're not heavy on your device and you use it leisurely, you can skip a lot of the flagships and save you some money and get a budget device at a $500 to $600 price point. And even some of those devices at those price points are still pretty powerful. Now, if you're not into taking a lot of videos on your smartphone, if you rarely take a video, if you barely take videos, you're not into getting high quality 4K, 8K video on your smartphone, or you don't need telephoto and zoom video at 20 times, you don't need a Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra, because that's where this camera system shines at. If you just like to point and shoot and take some pictures, you had a graduation, you had a birthday party, you just want to point, shoot, take a nice picture, I think there's other choices out there, especially like the OnePlus 13 is a great point and shoot that gets some great pictures, pixel phones, things of that nature. To me, the camera system on the S25 Ultra shine because you can take raw photos, you can take log video, more areas where you had to be a more experienced videographer, a photographer, for you to actually get use out of it. If you just a point and shoot, I think it's better alternatives than the S25 Ultra, and again, you don't have to spend that $12.99. Also, guys, if you're not a fan of big phones, I got huge hands, so this phone is pretty much nothing to me, but it's still a little awkward with the squared off sides. So if you're not into really big phones and then this phone is awkward because of the squared off edges that feel sharp, you shouldn't buy an S25 Ultra because you want a device that's going to be comfortable in your hand. Some of these bigger phones can easily fatigue your hand and wrist. You don't want a device that you can't use for as long as you want to because it's fatiguing your wrist, it's fatiguing your hand, it's awkward in hand, it's giving you hand cramps and things of that nature. This is a really big device. If you don't have really big hands or you just don't like really big phones, I think this is definitely something that you can skip over and go with one of the small but just as powerful flagships like a S25, things of that nature. Now also, guys, if you're somebody that own a S23 Ultra or S24 Ultra, those devices still are really powerful and do everything probably just as good or almost just as good as the S25 Ultra. There is a processor difference, but the processor difference isn't big enough to notice it in day-to-day use. Nobody is always utilizing their devices under extreme conditions all the time. So for the most part, you won't really notice a difference in performance coming from a S23 Ultra or S24 Ultra. Those devices are really good, take great video, take good pictures, do everything that this device do, utilize the same apps, play the same games really well. So if you have those devices, you can actually just keep some money in your pocket and skip this device for the year. Now, last but not least, I want to talk about value and not really the price of the device when it come out, but I'm just saying the price that you pay for this device, when you go to sell it, is gonna depreciate really hard. It's like a S25 Ultra or any Samsung device. A lot of Android devices are like pulling cars off the lot. Once you pull them off the lot, the price drops immediately. A device like this, if you buy this device for $1,200, let's say a year from now or a year from when I bought it, I want to buy the next device. So I want to sell my current device that I've utilized for a year. I've seen these devices go from $1,200 to $600 on the used market. Whereas an iPhone, if I buy a $1,000 iPhone Pro, the next year I might can sell that for $750, $800 and almost have enough money to buy the new iPhone and add a couple, $100 or $200 to get the new iPhone. The depreciation on, like I said, Android, Samsung devices is getting ridiculous, especially when it comes to the prices that they asking for these devices. Now, the one upside to that may be because it's really good trading deals. So nobody's really buying used Samsung devices. Right now, the trading deals are so good. It's like, why not trade my current phone in, get hundreds of dollars off, and get me a new device? So on the used market, nobody's looking to pay a lot of money for these devices. But yeah, I just wanted to share this video with you guys to get y'all thinking about what you want out of your device. Because if you could get everything out of a device at a cheaper price point, you getting more value and you saving more money. It's your boy BG Tech Life. Go ahead, hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe. I'm out. Peace.